So this is how our clients eat to end bloating forever. We're going to go over the food choices, we're going to go over the strategies, and we're going to go over the supplements that they use so that they don't have to experience bloating ever again. Because as I'm sure you know, if you're watching this, it is really frustrating to every time you eat have your stomach hurt and bloat and just feel like it sucks the life out of you. And a lot of the women that we work with come to us having just severe digestive issues that they're really struggling with. So I want to see if I can help you guys out in any way I can. So number one is, why are you bloating? Right? The most common reason for bloating is excess intestinal gas. However, that doesn't really help anyone because you have to understand why you're having excess intestinal gas to have a solution, right? So often it can be from either a food intolerance, imbalanced gut microbiome, the way you eat, the stress around your eating. There's a lot of things that can go into it. So we're going to cover kind of some of that stuff today, and then some strategies that you can use to get moving in the right direction. So as far as food choices, the most common food intolerances are eggs, gluten, and dairy. By far, large and away, those are the most common intolerances that people have. But often, our clients are avoiding those things already. They're not having eggs, they're not having gluten, they're not having dairy, and they're still experiencing digestive issues. And really, the one thing to look to next, and sometimes you can even look at there first, is something called FODMAPs. And basically, FODMAPs are specific sugars that do not get completely digested or absorbed in your intestine, and they move really slowly in your small intestine, and then as they pass to your large intestine, they're fermented by gut bacteria and produce gas. Okay? The excess gas from that can cause stretching and expanding of your intestinal wall, and then the result is bloating, discomfort, pain, etc., all those things that you're probably experiencing. And so what we use is a strategy, or is a diet called low FODMAP. And this isn't necessarily something that you want to do forever because it's pretty tough to follow and relatively restrictive. But doing it for 7 to 21 days while also eliminating some of the other foods like eggs, gluten, and dairy that cause digestive issues has been really, really helpful for a lot of the clients that I've worked with. And it can give your gut a little bit of time to heal and to develop the right balance of bacteria in your gut so that you don't have that bloating and indigestion and gas. So here's a list of foods that we follow. You guys can have this document. I'll link it in the description here, and it'll have the list of foods in here that you could follow. This is the list of foods that we follow for 7 to 21 days. Okay? Doing this for long enough helps reduce inflammation in the gut and improve something called motility. Motility is basically the speed that food moves through your gut. We want it to move through a little bit quicker if you're having constipation and if you're having issues like this. So we want to improve the motility, and we want to make sure that during the time we're repairing our gut, that we're rebalancing our microbiome and we're not feeding it foods that are going to cause excess gas to be produced. So that's what this list is for. And if you're struggling with SIBO, SIBO is small intestinal bacteria overgrowth, which is basically just like too much of the bad bacteria in your small intestine. This will help reduce that overgrowth, right? If you have too much bacteria and food's coming through, it's gonna feed right through it and produce a lot of gas. So we want to reduce the amount of that bacteria overgrowth, right? That can be a huge part of the problem for a lot of people. So that's as far as food choices go, right? The food choices that you make a big difference. However, there are some things you can do not related to what you eat to make a difference as well. And these strategies are based on the fact that our gut and our brain are very highly connected to each other. They're strongly linked. And so things that affect your gut also affect your hormones, your mood, your energy, and vice versa, right? Your hormones, your mood, and energy can affect your gut. So these are some strategies developed with that frame of mind to help you digest your food better. Okay? Number one is we got to chew our food 20 to 30 times per bite. And the reason for that is if you have large chunks of food trying to travel through your intestine, they're going to travel slower. And it's going to give it more time for the bacteria to really eat at it and produce the gas that's causing the bloating, right? So we want to make sure we're chewing our food and breaking it down as much as possible to give our body the best chance to digest it well. Number two, this is important, we're going to take 3 deep breaths before eating. What that does is it gets us in a more relaxed state. And A relaxed state is a state that's good for digestion. If you're in a stressed out state, you're not going to digest your food well, right? Because your body's prioritizing other things. Like if you're stressed out because you're being chased by a bear, right? For example, your body's not going to prioritize digestion. It's going to prioritize survival. And that's basically what's happening anytime you're stressed with anything in your life, whether it be stress from money, family, work, etc., right? So we want to try to get out of that stressed out state before we eat so that we can digest our food well and that our body can really, again, work to digest it the best it can. Number 3 is along those same lines. We want to eat at a table away from work and technology, right? We don't want to associate eating with the other things that cause us stress, right? Your phone, your work, your laptop, your desk that you work at all day and get yelled at by your boss, right? We want to disassociate that from our food. So we want to make sure we have our space to eat our food. And then the last thing is to go for a walk immediately after you eat. It's 5 to 10 minutes, doesn't have to be long, but has been shown to really improve digestive health. So those are 4 things and like quick strategies you can use to implement today to improve your digestion and stop bloating so much after you eat. Okay. Obviously, you have to couple that with the food choices, right? It's got to be a kind of a combination there. And lastly, talking about supplements that might help. And there's a lot of other things that are going to help here too, right? You got to have your other things in line. Like you got to be sleeping. You got to be managing your stress. You got to be regularly exercising and walking and things like that, right? But as far as supplements go, in our coaching program, we actually partner with a naturopath that customizes this part of the process for each individual. But I'm going to share some things that have been generally helpful for people, and it would be a good place to start. Now, this is in no way prescription or recommendation. I'm just telling you some things that have helped our clients in the past. So number 1 has been a good probiotic. And if you're looking for a probiotic, you want it to be like 40 billion CFU, which is colony forming units. Doesn't really matter what that is. It's just the amount of bacteria that are in that probiotic. I linked a good one here. I linked what I would recommend for each one of these, but a probiotic would be helpful. Number 2 is Burbiotic. And what this is basically the common prescription for things like SIBO, which is, again, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth from conventional doctors, is antibiotics. Right? But antibiotics can do a lot of damage to our gut in the process of killing off some of the bacterial overgrowth. And so what Burbiotic is a supplement that the naturopath that we partner with uses that is less harmful to the gut and probably less potent than an antibiotic, but can help heal your gut and help kill off some of that bacterial overgrowth more naturally. Number 3 is FiberMend or psyllium husk. These are 2 different supplements, but they're both basically prebiotic fiber and can help with regularity if you're struggling with constipation or just like bad motility that's causing bloating. Okay. And again, I linked the FiberMend there, something that I really like, and then psyllium husk you can get from Amazon. Number 4 is GI complex repair, and this is a supplement that is an all-natural herbal nutrient formula designed to help support a healthy digestive tract, normal bowel function, clear skin, balanced immunity, and a normal allergic response. Okay, and there's a link for that as well. And that will help you like long-term. Really helpful one. And then the last one is curcumin, which just helps maintain a healthy inflammatory response in the joints, muscles, GI tract, liver, brain, nerves. Curcumin is basically just extract from turmeric, and is really helpful for a lot of things, including your gut. So we recommend it to almost everybody to use curcumin daily. The only one I don't have here is you can also use a supplement that helps like digest your food right after you eat it. Like you can use the digestive enzyme. So like you would eat it post meal, and that might help you if you're still struggling or like you're going out to eat and you don't know if you're going to be able to, handle the foods that you're going to have. You can bring digestive enzymes with you that can help kind of break down the food and prevent some of that bloating from happening. So hope that was helpful today, everybody. I know bloating can be, and just digestive issues in general can be really, really frustrating. And so I want to help you in any way I can. So I'm going to link this document in the description. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out and let me know. I am happy to answer anything you guys have and happy to help in any way I can. See you in the next one.